Hello, my squishies! Somebody in the comments, hi Sylvia, give me a shout and tell me you can hear me, and then we will get started. So hello, it's Friday night, it's 6 o'clock. Welcome to this fortnight's Felt Along. So we record these live. They stay up so that you can make them later on at your leisure as well. So I sound fine. Excellent. Hey Robin. Hi Mom. You can hear me. Wonderful. And my voice is back to normal. I could not. I had a bad little lurgy for a wee while, so I was not really able to talk for lengths of time. But now we're back to rambling complete nonsense for the next hour. Welcome. But yes, so we record these live. They stay up and you can do them afterwards. So the people I'm chatting to, so people are listening in just now. You can see in the live chat replay the questions that they're asking me, if they're asking me questions. And after the fact, you can also pop questions in the comments as well, or just say hi in the comments. But right, let's get started. So this will be a kit this week. So this week we are going to do the Haggis, the elusive Scottish beastie that roams the hills up here. So I'm going to give you a brief introduction to needle felting, and then we're going to get started on our haggises. So in your kit you've got your foam mat. This is what we're going to use to protect your surfaces and make it easier for felting. You've got your felting needles. These are sharp and stabby, so this is oh yeah, also we talk a lot of nonsense in these videos, so I apologise profusely. So these needles, they've got a sharp stabby end on one end and then a hook on the other end. So you're using the sharp stabby end. I always like to count my needles in and out. So when I start, I see how many I've got and I try and find them all when I'm finishing. If they break, which can happen, don't worry. Especially when you're doing 3D felting, it is slightly more likely to break. I always try and find all the broken bits and then dispose of them safely. I have a hard plastic wee tub that's an old ink cartridge tub that I pop them in there, and then when that's full I'll put it in the bin. So we've got our needles here, and then in today's one, so not everything, I know normally everything that you need is in the kit, but today I lied. We are going to need some scissors, but I do kind of assume hopefully most people have some kind of, they don't have to be sharp particularly, but some kind of scissors. Yeah, who would have guessed needles are sharp and stabby? I know, I'd love telling people in the shop that, oh hello penguin, it's so cathartic needle felting because you're just stabbing for an hour. It's glorious. I don't know, am I allowed to say that on YouTube? Probably not. Anyway, and then the last and most important thing in your kit is the fibre, and this is what we are going to use to make our haggises. I know haggises are naturally formed out in the wild, but we're going to just be recreating them today. So we are going to use sheep wool rather than haggis wool, because I ran out of haggis wool in the shop, which is really annoying. But there's a wee trick to working with this. So you want to have your hands nice and far apart, and you just gently pull and it'll come apart like this. And you can see this length is the length of the fibre that was on the sheep. So if you have your hands too close together, you're just pulling against the same bit. So you want to have your hands nice and far apart, and you also want there to be no twist. If it's twisted, not going to come apart either. So hands nice and far apart, no twist, and then we can just gently pull to get little sections. So this is Shetland, from Shetland sheep, and this one is, I think this one's actually Welsh. It's either Welsh or Jacobs, depending. I use them in the kits interchangeably. And so with one last bit of housekeeping before we start. I will reiterate, sharp stabby needles, please try and avoid stabbing your fingers. It hurts. Also with these videos, because you're watching them after the fact, unless you're here live, hello, you feel free to fast forward, rewind, pause at any time if I'm going too fast. You can change the speed down somewhere in there. And you can also, and I'm in no way offended, mute me if you like. So you do not have to listen to my rambling, you can just watch what's going on. Okay, but let's get felting. So I have done a small tester of the haggis today, but it's only half haired, so it looks a little bit odd. I do want to show you it because it's really funny, but it's not or do I not show you it? Do we just do it? In the comments, tell me if I should show you the half thing or just start. I'm going to start unless anybody says they want to see it. So I'm going to start with this stuff. This is the core wool. Because those of you that are doing this after the fact already know what this looks like because the picture's on the front of your box. This is the core wool. It's the same as the tops or the roving, but it's just slightly less brushed. So I don't know if I want to show. I'm going to start stabbing and give me a second to to bring up the courage. So I've taken a little bit of this. Oh, very important thing that I forgot last time. We're going to set aside about that much of the core wool for his eyes and nose. So I'm putting that there. Don't let me felt that. So we're going to take a little bit of this. And then I like to spread it out a little bit before I roll it up into a little ball. And I'm just stabbing like this. I'm moving him around. And stabbing in all different directions at this point. Okay, I will show him, but you cannot laugh, right? He's only got half of his hair on him. And we also need to come up with a name. So, did you see him? Did you see him? There's our little Scottish haggis. But yeah, he's only half hairy. Underneath his hair, he is haggis shaped. But we're going to put spiky. So we've got a lot of haggis lore to go through today. He's the wire-haired haggis. Well, earlier on he was a smooth-haired haggis, but I've decided to make him a wire-haired haggis. Because there is different varieties of haggis depending on what region they're from. So you've got loads of different varieties. So whatever haggis you make tonight is entirely correct. And there is no wrong we can do tonight, basically. So I've stabbed that into this little kind of sausage shape. It's still really fluffy and loose, but I can feel it starting to come together. So as it starts to sort of come together, I'm going to grab a little bit more, open it up, and lay it over and round. So this might sound like a silly thing to say, but we're aiming to make a haggis shaped object just now with the core wool. So I'm trying to keep the base a little bit flat so that he can sit nicely and doesn't roll around. But a nice domed top and a little bit elongated is the shape that we're going for. And so you can see I'm just moving it about, shifting it constantly. I'm never felting too much in one area. And you can see how whenever I stab it, it's starting to push in and you can feel it felting. Now at the moment I'm just using one needle because I'm just starting the basic shape, but you can use multiple needles at the same time and that does speed it up a little bit. But you have to be careful that you're stabbing straight in and out. You're not bending the needles at all because that's when needles break. And I'm trying to keep my left hand away from the needles. Though I will stab myself tonight. I've just got the aim tonight is not to swear when I stab myself. Am I in focus? Tell me if I'm in focus. I feel like I'm not in focus. I can see myself on the big screen, but sometimes it looks a bit odd. So, Scottish haggis is a small beastie that roams the hills. It's quite elusive. They are quite hard to find. And because they're quite hard to find, there's lots of conflicting stories about them. So I've been asking all my friends that have been coming into the shop this week what the haggises in their region are like. I am in focus. Okay, thank you. Because, like I said before, all the different regions have different haggis styles. So I think the consensus is that the Lochaber haggis, so the one up here, has 3 legs rather than 4 to help it run around the hills. And sometimes their legs are different lengths. Now I grew up with my haggis, because I'm from down near Edinburgh, I'm a lowlander, an incomer up here. My haggises had 4 legs, but they have 2 on the sides. One side has longer legs than the other. So, how do I do this? So yeah, one side will have nice long legs and one side will have short legs, so that they can run around the hills really easily and not topple over. But there's 2 varieties and they have different lengths legs on different sides. So they run around in opposite directions of the hill and occasionally bump into each other. Okay, he's starting to fuzz up a little bit now. And it's a nice wee shape, a good haggis shape. I'm gonna take a little bit more of this and wrap it round. And it doesn't matter that there's a wee bit of the wrong colour in there. So the haggis looks, people have described it various different ways. Oh, and there is a haggis, there is a representation of a haggis in the National Museum of Scotland. But, so it claims on the sign that it is a taxidermied haggis. But it doesn't look like a haggis. I think the National Museum are faking it. And it's not actually real, because that's not what a haggis looks like. So I think they haven't actually caught a haggis. They've just stuck a few different things together and called it a haggis to scam the tourists. Shocking behaviour from the National Museum of Scotland. So tonight we are making a real haggis representation. I've forgotten what the next thing I was going to say was. I have more haggis facts. Oh, but while I remember, and I'm going to do the things. So, I really appreciate it if you do the likey, and if you like and subscribe, pop a comment below. It helps so much grow this channel and the felting kits and continue my nonsense. So yeah, please pop a like below, subscribe. And in our chat tonight, I have at least 2 nonsense makers who also have their own channels. And I would really appreciate it if you went and gave them a wee look-see. So Robin and Sylvia, if you could pop in the comments your channels so that we can see you. I know, I remembered all by myself. Are you proud? I normally forget to do the like and subscribe thing. I'm terrible at it. Okay, so we're almost a haggis. So it's slightly flatter on the bottom and just egg-shaped, haggis-shaped. I know, I missed my nonsense too. It was, you know I'm really sick when I actually take time off work. And I had my lovely ladies that work for me doing a few days in a row so that I could quietly feel very sorry for myself on my sofa. And yes, while I was sick and missed the last 2, Robin put out a new video which I watched in the, I think I watched in a haze of also in a feverish haze I watched it. Or did it, wait, did it come out before my last video? Have I mentioned it already? Robin, you're going to have to confirm or deny. And I have spotted that. Oh, you've got your Etsy store. Oh my god, that's so exciting. Okay, please, Robin, put your Etsy store in the comments. Because, for multiple reasons. Yeah, the pumpkins are excellent. I love them. They're so cute. She did amazing pumpkins that have like shadows and everything on them. I was so impressed. And now I can't do a needle felting pumpkin video because Robin's is too good. Or I can do the jam version. So this is my last layer I'm going to put on, and then he is the right size. How are we doing for time? 17 minutes. Excellent. Oh, so Haggis is the ones up here. They look kind of like a cross between an odd sheep, a hedgehog, a guinea pig, and a capybara. And are absolutely delicious because we do eat our haggises. Oh no, that was it. That's why. I know why it is not a real representation of a haggis in the Museum of Scotland. So I don't know if you guys have heard about the turtle story when they were trying to bring turtles back from Australia, or turtles or tortoises back from Australia on ships to put in collections and things. But everybody, they apparently are so delicious to eat that they never actually ended up getting back in because they were all eaten on the journey. Which is why haggises don't end up in museums, because they are all eaten too quickly. Okay, so I've still got this aside. I have not forgotten my tiny little bit for his eyes and nose. And we have a starting to feel nice and firm. Not totally firm. Feels like a... Okay, now I have to describe it as something. We did both do cows and they were both awesome. I agree. Starting to feel like a ripe peach. And I want it to be just a little bit firmer, but it's going to firm up as we start putting his hair on. So to start with the hair, this is where the fun comes in. So your haggis can be whatever colour whatever mix of colours you like. So I'm going to take these two colours. I might even take a little bit of a lighter colour. Hold up. And this colour. So it's going to be basically the same as the Highland cow colour. And we're going to blend these layers together with magic. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, take a small layer of the orange, a small layer of the brown, and then a small layer of the tan. Sorry, I should be using the correct names. Chocolate, Vixen, Butterscotch. I had to look at my labels there. And I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to take a thin layer. Oh, I left my phone on. Oh no. Hold on. I'm just going to silence that. No interruptions. Okay, silenced. Did I do this layer of chocolate? Yes, I heard something about the kitten story. Tell us the kitten story. A small layer of that, small layer of that, and I'm building up. It looks a little bit stripy just now, but that's okay. I'm going to then take my little lasagna of colour and pull and relay. Pull and relay. So if you followed me before with the cow, it's exactly the same as we did to make the cow's fur. Here we go. Doesn't have to be too well blended, but you can see it's now gone. There's like shadows and highlights in there. It's not just a solid colour. Magic. To start off, we're going to do a base. I'm going to show him again. I'm going to cover him all in the colour, just so that he looks so shocked because he's only half coloured. So to do the base is going to be super simple. We're just going to lay the colour. In fact, I'm going to start at the bottom. And I'm going to squidge up. Doesn't matter if you can see a little bit of the brown, because there will be natural highlights and things. Oh, that's where I almost stabbed myself. And just cover them all. Now, you don't have to felt them in very well at this point, because it is all going to be covered, or most of it is going to be covered in his spectacular haircut. He is so, it's just because I was playing around with actually giving him the nubbins like on a haggis. It just is ridiculous. Although one of my friends did come in this afternoon and went, "Why is there what looks like a poo on your desk?" And I'm like, "Ah, that's my haggis." Which I'm thoroughly insulted by. That friend has also taken my dog away from me, which is shocking. Peanut is away for walkies. Peanut is the shop dog, but gets at this point in the evening is walkies time, so won't settle while I'm needle felting. So my wonderful friend takes Peanut on adventures. Now I've run out of the blended colour, so I'm just gonna make a little more. Oh wait, there's a kitten story. There's kittens in the comments. Oh, it's the kitten distribution network. Yes. What are they? Are they adorable? I kind of want to leave it like this. If you want to do a scraggly haggis like this, by all means. I'm kind of enjoying the scraggliness. I'm going to give you options, because this is, you don't have to copy me exactly. I don't know if I've said this before. And I don't want you to copy me exactly. You are going to be making your own haggis. So I'm going to give you a couple of different options of how to hair him. Or her. One is just to leave it scraggly like this. So don't, when you're felting, you see how there's like fluffy bits everywhere? You can just leave it like that. Groundbreaking, I know. Oh. Oh, and they were tiny and all cute, and did they smell like kitten? And was it amazing? And how old are they now? I have all the questions. Tell us about the cats. I'm going to fill in any bit that is. There we go. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes and just stab, stab, stab. I can feel my table moving. If my table goes really wonky, can someone give me a shout? Now it's totally okay if you've got different patches of colour. I've noticed there's a little bald spot there, so I'm going to just fill that in. Squish, squish, squish. There we go. Right. We have essentially a ginger egg. A hairy ginger egg, which is everything, which is life. And this, if you want, could be your representation of a haggis. But we're going to add some features and some more hair. Look at it. So we're going to do the eyes first, get the eyes in, and then go from there. Oh, more kitten stories. Ooh, also 3D printer. I want one of them so badly. Oh, I bet your house is absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to take the bit that I put aside because I remembered this time. Last time I think I had to save it from there and just pulled off enough to make eyes from there, which you can do if you forget. I'm going to take a little bit of this and kind of roll it around in my fingers so it is a little ball. And then looking straight on, decide which is your butt end and your face end. This is going to be my face end. This is going to be my face end. About halfway and to one side, you're going to put one eye. Now, this is going to look cursed and weird. Happy Halloween. For a second. Don't panic. Breathe. We're at the messy stage. One eye there. Other eye. Do the same again. Oh, that's so cute. Oliver is a good cat. And I'm going to do the same again on the other side. Now we're aiming to have them looking relatively even. And I've got them just over, so about a thumb. Good measurement here. About a thumb's width apart. And they're about... How do we decide what size they are? What measurements do we use? Smaller than a pinky nail? Oh yeah, Peanut entirely owns my house. Okay, we have two spectacularly wonky eyes. We're going to make them pop. We need them to look a little bit more lived in. So we're going to take some of the white and just a tiny, I know there's a lot of white there. You won't need this much. Take a tiny, tiny amount and I'm rolling it so it's like a string. There we go. Ah, you can see if I hold it over there, like a string there, and kind of folding and rolling and folding until it is quite short. I'm going to take this and starting at the center top of the eye, on the outside of the black line, you're going to poke it in and follow round until the center bottom in like a wee half moon. And you see how there's extra at the bottom? I'm just going to fold that back up and back round and kind of tidy it all up. So we have one eye. He immediately looks so much more alive. I'm going to do the same again to the other side. Take in a wee bit. Fold and a wee bit and fold. And then again, starting the center top. Make a wee half moon. So it's a little moon sliver. Any extra I just fold back up. And we have the eyes. So they're not very well, no, thoroughly, I'm going to use that word rather than well, because grammar, not grammar, vocabulary. So they're not very thoroughly felted in yet, the eyes. So I'm going to felt just like stab, stab, stab the eye and around the eye. The eye and the eye adjacent area, I'm not going to put long hair on. So you can make like interesting patterns with colour if you want to. Excuse me, if you want to. So I'm going to take some of the brown, I think, and do like wee eyeshadow around his eye with the brown. Careful not to go over. Where's my brown? There it is. Covering the eye up in brown. I'm going to do the same to the other side. What time are we having? Oh, we're only halfway. Oh, I've got plenty of time. We also have not named Haggis. It does somewhat need a name. He's so wonky. I love it. Oh, sorry. I've still got a little bit of a cough. It pops up occasionally. But oh, 2 weeks ago I was every 5 minutes. It was not good. I am so sorry I had to miss you guys. There we go. Are we looking even? Yes. Oh, hello, Maria. I did not spot you coming in the comments. Hello. How are you? Introduce yourselves. Welcome, and welcome to my squishies. Okay, we have eyes. They are wonky, but the nice thing about the fact that we haven't fully felted him and he's still a bit squishy is that I can, in fact I'm going to do it, give it a roll in your hands. And you can still squish to a certain extent. So you can, like, he's squished up a little bit and his eyes, if I push that and stab a little, that'll even that side out and he'll be all nice and even. Perfect. Right, now we're going to pop a wee nose on. So the nose on this guy, let's see if you can see it. I've made it stick out and let's see, that's the best angle. Like the haggis, it's got a nose and a bum. So we're going to put a wee sticky outy nose on him. Yeah, I'm much better. It's just the lingering ends of it. So to make the nose, am I gonna go straight brown? No, I'm gonna use some of the mix that I've got and squish it into a ball. In fact, let's pre-felt some of it. So let's just giving it a little bit of a tickle with the needle. I might need to take a sip of juice in a second. Hold on. I've just gently pre-felted the nose. I'm going to pop the nose just a little bit below. Hold on. Not pre-felted enough for my liking. Ooh! Also, it is almost the end of October, which means, so just, if you're watching this after the fact, this is October 2024. And in a few days, it will be 5 years. So at the beginning of November, it's going to be 5 years of me having the shop. So we're going to plan some little events in the shop and online to celebrate 5 years having the shop. Hello! Hello to the north of England. Grandkids. Yes, my dog Peanut is definitely my child, and my parents who are in the comments grandchild. So I've stuck the nose just a little bit below. I don't know if it, so it's a little bit below the eyes and in the middle. And there's, so not only is it 5 years of having the shop, but there is some exciting news in the works about, and Sylvia, you'll get excited about this, about where the shop is going in the future. I can't say too much because it's still early days, yada yada yada. But I might be very soon on a ground level shop that is bigger and has a massive office, and it is all very exciting. Yep, there isn't even a step to get in. It's completely disabled access. This is the dream, the dream. So we have our, it doesn't show up as well on camera, but we have our little nose. And I'm going to, it's still quite smushy. So you can build, if your nose starts to get too small or too big, you can build up by just adding more. Or you can also take away if you've put, so taking away, you can just, at this stage, pull. Should I do it? Yeah, I could just pull it off. And it does leave a little mark, but you can see, and you can shift it about. But I'll stab his nose back on. Oh, I didn't put his nose in the middle. There we go. He has a nose, but he needs some nostrils, so we're going to take two little tiny bits and pop them on just in the center of his nose. To make his little nostrils. Oh, they are very wonky. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm going to mute. There we go. I'm alive. We're fine. There we go. That's better. I actually want to take some of the dark brown and just outline the base of the nose with it. And then once we've done that, it's time to start with the hair. Let's push that way a little bit. One eye is looking smaller than the other one. Let's get that eye looking a bit bigger. So I can kind of move stuff about by stabbing more in one area. Perfect. Oh no. I can imagine, Maria, your house is absolute chaos. A bit like Robin's. Wonderful chaos, but with many, many kittens and cats. The waifs and strays. Right. Got distracted reading comments. Sorry. Yes. Let's pop some hair on. So, you can leave it like this if you want your smooth coated haggis. But I'm going to give him a spectacular hairdo. And we do that by, we're going to start off again with layering. I like to do the layering in little bits. And I don't know why. You can layer all of yours at the same time and do like a big batch so it's all ready. But I don't know, I find it easy just to work with little bits. Maybe there's a reason I do this, I don't know. This is just essentially hand carding. So if you've seen like the big paddly cards, that's what that does. Oh, how do I word? It's Friday night and I'm tired. That's what is happening here. It's like brushing and detangling and... Nope, I've lost it. We're fine. So we've got 2 nice little bundles. That won't be enough. We will need a little bit more of the hair. Also, oh, I have to do a very important shout out. I don't know if they're listening live, but they might be listening afterwards. I have to do a shout out to Sally and Tim. Sally is a wonderful lady who works at the bookshop, and her son Tim, who normally listen while they're cooking their dinner on a Friday night, and their wonderful dog Bramble. So hopefully they're paying attention. Hello, shout out. Okay, we have a good amount. Look at that colour, the stripes and the texture. The fibre does the hard work with making the colour, so we don't have to. Now, I'm going to take a little section of it, make sure it's reasonably blended, and I'm going to, so in my brain, this is, welcome to my brain. I'm going to fold it in half, and then in half again. And you see this point there, so that's the 1/4 section. That is where I'm going to start stabbing in. So I've put it, just laid it flat on there, and that's going to stab in there. Now what you can see is happening is it's gone from laying flat to standing up. Because we are stabbing in the center, it pushes it up on both sides, and this locks it in. Now he now has an odd, one short bit and one long bit. You could leave it as a hairstyle if you want, but I'm going to chop that. Oh, I am so sorry for that noise. Let's put scissors somewhere quietly. I'm going to take this again and put it in half there. And do not worry if it has a really interesting haircut for a while. Once we have done, I know, look at that beautiful chop chop. We're going to style at the end. Don't panic, but we want to cover him. In fact, could we could, this would be a lot easier. Let's make it easy on ourselves. Let's chop it in half to begin with. And then, why was I doing this the wrong way? And then find the middle point. Stab till it's nice and firmly in. Do the same again. Find the middle point. And we're just going to cover his body in fur. Look at the little guy. Oh, we will be blending the front bit as well, don't worry. What time we are. Still got 15 minutes. Plenty of time to cover this wee guy in fur. So you can see I've done down to there, so I'm just going to lay it a little bit further down. It doesn't have to be too firmly packed. Well, it can be if you want to, depending on how furry you want your guy to be. Oh, does anybody have any suggestions of a very special felt along for the anniversary? Is there anything you would like me to do that I haven't done? Look at his hair going. Oh my god, I love it. It's starting to get nice and fuzzy. If you see any bits that are starting to come out, just stab them in a little bit more. I'm trying to move these scissors without causing your ears pain. I apologise. He's currently a 70s glam. That, yes! That's exactly. I didn't see your comment, Penguin. That's what I was just thinking. He is a glam rocker from the 70s or 80s. It's all a blur. It's in the past. With tartan trousers, possibly. Oh my god, yes. Yes, we have. I'm so happy about this. Let's just chop all of this. As you can see, my chopping skills, perfection. It doesn't matter if there's longer or shorter bits. It's all gonna not even out, but it's all the natural varieties that would be in the animal anyway. I'm making noise. Let's move that. Oh, I should do rainbow sheep. That is a very good idea, Mum. Make a proper rainbow sheep. Am I still in? Oh, I'm wandering off screen again. I'm also wondering what is... Ooh, that's what's making the noise. Oh no, it's on my headphones. Okay. Don't listen. Oh, that's better. There's not that wee noise there. Oh my god, the fluff is real. The fluff is real. We're getting there. Oh yeah, when there was one... Since I've had Peanut, my substitute child, has only had one night, I think, when she hasn't been in the house, and it was weirdly quiet. I had to go out to the cinema. I was like, I can't be alone here. Does anybody have any haggis lore for me? Mum and Dad, I'm looking at you. Oh no, it's not that that's making... I still can't figure out what is making this noise. Also, my dad's going to tell me off because I've done it again. I changed my setup and didn't test out the new setup before I started streaming. So I don't know what's making the noise. I think it might just genuinely be the table. Okay. Oh. What do haggis eat? It's probably the fairies again. Yep. Oh, yeah, there's been a few interesting noises in here. The winter is coming. The ghosties are coming out. What do haggis eat? Well, they live on the hills. So are they carnivores or are they vegetarians? Do they survive on like seeds and nuts? These are the questions. Haggis is yes, they definitely eat socks. If you bring a haggis into your house, you have to learn to pick up your socks. Yes. Vegetarian haggises they are vegetarian. So there's a vegetarian haggis and the meat haggis. Oh yeah, that's really good. So if you're in Scotland as a tourist, vegetarian haggis is delicious and tastes like non-vegetarian haggis. So if you're not sure about eating real haggis, you can just have the vegetarian alternative, and it's the same herbs and spices, some of the same other ingredients. It is worth a try. And they only eat grass, so therefore that's fine. Okay, we have mostly got him covered. There is some longer bits and some shorter bits. But he's starting to fluff up real nice. I'm just going to cover that little bit there. So he's definitely got sideburns. Okay, so you could leave him spectacular like this, but I'm going to trim him a little bit and do some stabbies. So where did I put the scissors? So I'm going to, so you don't want to just cut because he will end up with interesting bits. So when you're trimming him, I go in point first, like a hairdresser, and take little snips off like that to shorten him up. You can be reasonably aggressive, because if you cut... So what happens if you cut too much off? Just pull it off and add a bit more in. So I'm going to blend his hair a little bit and get rid of any like super long bits. There's a reason I should never be a hairdresser. This is not going to be a very good haircut. Whee! Fluff him up. See how he's looking. He's starting to look hedgehoggy. You can also, if you've got longer bits as well, you can stab them in to shorten them up. There's multiple options. And then we're going to deal with the blending of the front to the back. Look at that coat of fur. Doesn't he just look autumnal? Ooh, Robin live video. Yes, please, please, please let me know in advance. I will be there with bells on. And fluffing up, checking for any bald patches, checking for any bits that come out. And now, look at his little face. He's like a tiny lion. Shorten up a little bit around the face. Also, my desk is going to be a mess after this one, and I'm fine with that. And I'm going to take a little bit, and this one's going to be scrumpled. So scrumple, scrumple, and then scrumple so it blends any harsh lines. And you can even grab these bits. Scrumple them and there we go, that's starting to come together. So we're just, so instead of having, I don't know if you can see that on camera, so you can see kind of where the part is there, but this bit, because I've scrumpled it and hidden the join essentially, and even you can take a few of the frontermost bits and add it in there. Look at the fluff. And now give it a wee going over. Pull out any obviously loose bits. This is obviously not a toy, so you don't have to be too strict about how well it's felted in if it's just sitting on a shelf looking pretty. Ooh, but you don't want any really loose bits. Oh, I want to do a little bit more down there. Again, I'm gonna, ooh, nope, I have scraps sitting over there. I will use my scrapsies. Now this haggis has its winter coat on because it is coming into winter now, which is why you can't see its legs to work out what kind of legs it should have. I feel like there's a, yeah, I need a bit more in there. Roddy. I only laugh at that because my uncle, does Uncle Roderick ever get called Roddy? I have questions. My uncle is a Roderick. And I don't know if I'm allowed to compare my uncle to a haggis. Hamish the haggis. What have we got? Hamish, Shaggy, Ginger the haggis, Haggy the haggis. That's a good one. Roddy the haggis. Roddy still makes me laugh. Right, where is my bald? Where's his bald spot? Let's give him some more length in there. is the table. Right, if I put my arm on the table, it doesn't make a banging noise. I love this fuzz with all the different colours in it. And I'm going to do a little bit more on his bottom. What time are we at? Oh, we are at 7 o'clock. That is my... I can hear them outside. There is a puppy that needs my attention. I think this is the perfect time to stop. Congratulations, guys. Call him Jimmy. Oh, he might be Jimmy the Haggis. So I have a puppy outside that is needing my attention. It's 7 o'clock. We have a beautiful haggis. Thank you so much for joining me. Pop a like and a comment below. I appreciate you all. Thank you, my squishies. Let's pop him up. Is he going to stand up if I put a needle there? There we go. Thank you, my squishies. It has been wonderful. If not before, I will see you 2 weeks on Friday. Thank you. Oh, I can't go. My mouse isn't working. Wait, was there anything else I'd forgotten? No, I don't think so. Have a lovely week. I will see you soon.